Alrighty, yo guys, Beast, back with some more Beastly content. So today we are going to be doing a base showcase of my tetrahydroxy cannabinoid base, aka my Nip headquarters. I haven't actually renamed the base computer yet. We'll go ahead and do that now and get a screenshot of this before this tour really gets into this. I figured it was fitting to call Nip's headquarters tetrahydroxy cannabinoid. So I had one of these before. I used to have a base called THC, but this is the new THC. So let's also go ahead and get a better screenshot of this, because that screenshot is so old. I wish I had the one where I had all my ships on here, because at one point I had all my ships loaded up on here, all my exotics, and it was like, oh, the Nip Gek-Lords meeting together with all their exotics. I will be using this base in my next day in the life of a Nip Lord. Or however it is, Nip Gek-Lord, you know what I'm saying? So, first things first, this first room is kind of meant for anybody entering here. Down here is actually my personal landing pad. Normally I'd want my ship to be here so no one else can land here, because down here is kind of the personal area. First of all, we're going to go ahead and take this here. This will take us to the bedroom of the main Gek-Lord, the owner of the headquarters, the main boss man himself. He only has a simple bed here, as well as 2 chairs out by the window for fellow Gek-Lords to come in here and discuss business things, such as different strains of Nip being exchanged for other strains of Nip and all sorts of Nip monetary related goodness. So anyway, back to the rest of this base. We're going to go ahead and enter from here. I'll show this, and then we're going to go through the other doorway down here, and also we'll show the top area in a bit too. So this is a galactic trade terminal area mainly. It's also full of lockers. I figured it's just a good place for me to go in here and get to the lockers. You can access this part of it from the other side, but we'll get on to how that works and where most of the NPCs or the people visiting tetrahydroxy cannabinoid will be versus the elite people who are in the know. So most people don't come down to this floor here, okay? So anyway, we're now going to get on into the other side of this building. This here is what is basically the gun emporium. We're currently not employing anyone here. However, I'm sure that is soon to change. And once we are done with that, you can purchase your guns. At least that's what I'm trying to emulate here. I don't actually have a gun vendor here. I thought you could use these to like purchase multi-tools or something, or I think this actually you can purchase this one. So, yeah, hey, we got a guy here. Look at that, he's here now. It's so weird how it's like the same person for every base. Anyway, so on to the next floor. I have done some sort of organization system here. I don't actually have this one labeled because there's no reason to. But upon entering on this, we're going to be onto the second floor. This is mainly just filled full of filing cabinets. I figured we needed a place to keep all the records of the payments being made to the Gek-Lord for all of the Nip that he's selling, and as well as the names and addresses and all the information of other Gek-Lords, so that we can keep all that information logged here. And once again, probably not a floor most people visit. Let's go ahead and head on to the final floor. So this is the top floor. This is the floor that everybody will be getting when they land on the public landing pads. You walk in here, and this is just the primary meeting hub. It does have this little area over here that you can actually access more than enough chairs for any sort of Gek-Lords to meet in here, have a discussion, maybe pass the Nip. You know how it is, just have a good time. Anyway, so the rest of this has some Nip up here. There's like a research and development here. We're going to go ahead and put our scientist here too. It makes me happier. It's like a research and development thing here for all sorts of different, what I'm going to consider these things of trays of Nip being produced here by this scientist man, as well as some guy over here helping with the construction of future Nip farms. That's my story here, as well as a normal galactic terminal for any people landing here who may need a quick galactic terminal without visiting a trade station. As for up here, It really is a simple design. I will also be showing you my strut support system that I designed. It's supposedly holding this base up so that it's not just hovering. Since this one's not very high off the ground, I just wanted to create like some sort of struts to hold it up, which there's a little peek of. They're not the best in some spots, but they do work very well, and all of these pads do work, and people do land here regularly. And is this an S-Class that is not owned by anybody? I mean, it's funny that it's S-Class. I guess I could scrap it or something for an S-Class upgrade. And yeah, I guess it's okay. We're going to go ahead and buy this starship. It's really not that expensive, and we can buy it. So we'll buy it. This is now ours, so that's cool. And this is an Explorer class. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so this is the rest of the top floor. This is pretty much the end of this base. This is just meant to be a headquarters for Nip Gek-Lords. It wasn't meant to be anything too crazy. I will say this big old bend area actually currently doesn't have access, and we're going to go ahead and enter camera mode so I can show you that. Doesn't actually currently have access to anything, which is kind of unfortunate. I would like to figure out how to get it attached here. I think if I get one of those tube ones, it will go two ways. I can connect it here, but I'm going to have to get some more like sulfuric crystals or something. Eventually, I am going to get this where all of the hallways are actually attached, but for now I wasn't able to due to just how these things are functioning and such. Really, I think I'd almost rather just not have this part in just the front. I don't know. I'm probably going to touch this base up. But besides that, this is tetrahydroxycannabinoid. You will be seeing this in a future day in the life of a Gek-Lord video. If you haven't seen the previous one, do go watch it. If you have, well, I know why you're here anyway. But I do believe that is all. We're not going to do a cinematic thing here. If you want to see a cinematic thing, go check out the end of my time-lapse of building this. I will also be leaving this down below. I did do a full time-lapse of building this after we played the nightmare that is the new season on Destiny 2. I don't want to talk about it too much, but let's just say there is fishing in Destiny 2. Go check that video out if you haven't seen that as well. But I do believe that is all, guys. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and keep it beast mode.